box or whatever it's called, that bus or whatever, and hook them both in. You can just flip a switch back and forth. But yeah, it sounds like you're going to do real well. Now, if you could get that beam up at 40 foot, I'm sure it would compete or maybe beat it.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, I think it's 28 or 30 foot. I think it's closer to 30. And the beam's about 40. So, yeah, it's got a 10-footer on it, man. Got a good 10-foot on it, man. Easy 10-foot. So, yeah, no doubt, man. But I'll tell you, man, I don't have to spin the thing, and I could talk anywhere and everywhere. Don't get me wrong, man. I love them beams, especially on AM, man, when you want to slide somebody. But this Omni, you got to hear everybody.
Hey, Roger. Well, I got this super scanner. It's pretty sweet. You just hit the switch, man, and you go 3 different directions, north, southeast, and southwest. Of course, you get the Omni, too, but it's only a 6 dB. The beam part of it's a 9. And I can pretty much talk to just about anybody from, you know, just south of you all the way over to Carolinas. I can even get into Southern California off the north one, but pretty much full signal from San Francisco over to, say, North Carolina. I can give them full signal just pointing north. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, roger on that. Roger on that. Yeah, man, the super scanner. I sold one of those. I sold one of those last year. Sold it last year or something. I got a little over $300 for that thing, man. $300, brand new in the box.
Wow. Yeah. Man, that's big time. But brand new in the box. People will pay for that brand new in the box thing.
Yeah, roger on that, man. I had what did I went to some guy. He put an ad in Craigslist. Said he had his pop was a radio guy, and he had some antennas and stuff, you know, and he wanted to sell. And dude, I went over there picking through, and I seen that box, the super scanner. He had a super scanner. He had a 4-element Comet. He had a 3-element Comet and a 4-element shooting star, or whatever, you know, whatever Mako's calling the thing now, 4-element. And I was like, oh, damn. So my buddy, he wanted to go over there and buy those because he's the one who actually found the deal. But then I seen that super scanner sitting there. I was like, oh, I bought that thing for, I think, $40. I gave the guy $40 for it, man. I knew I was going to turn that thing around for a big profit.
Oh, man, what a deal.
Yeah, because those boxes, man. Just the turning box, or the whatever, your little control box, man. I seen those go online sometimes for a couple $100.
Yeah, if you get to the right place and the right time, you can get big bucks out of all that stuff, man. I wouldn't pay no more than $80 for one, but, you know, brand new in the box, that's what gets a lot of that price hike big time up. But, yeah, man, what a deal. $40. You robbed that guy.
Robbed him, baby. Robbed him. And then I got a Palomar tube amp, like a Palomar 300A. Dude, he says, hey, man, I put this on eBay and they kicked it off. I was like, what the hell? They kicked it off. I said, dude, I'll give you $20 for the damn thing. He said, oh, yeah? I was like, yeah, here, dude. I'll give you $20 for that thing right now.
Wow. The tubes were good, too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Then I started, what else you got in here, buddy? What else you got in here, man? I hit the ATM before I went there, man. $20. I was buying 2 peel boxes for $20 a piece. Yeah, I'll give you 20 for this box, 20 for that box. How about that box over there? I'll give you 20.
Oh, man, you felt like a thief in a candy store, didn't you?
Oh, my buddy's shaking his head at me like, oh, don't you feel any shame? I'm like, hell no, no shame in my game.
Man, I tell you, you run across another super scanner cheap, let me know. Mine's like 25 years old. I could use another one. Yeah,
roger on that. Well, get you one of these, man. Get you one of these whooping sticks.
Yeah, well, this thing's 9 dB. Them are only 6, so I still think this will outperform it. You can't put big power through them. You know, there's 2 kinds. One with a little pigtail coming out of the relay box up top, and then the other one that doesn't have one has a resistor in there. And supposedly you can't go over 300. I don't run an amp anyway. I'm just barefoot ICOM here, but I seem to think them ones with them resistors in the relay box itself, without that pigtail hanging out of it, seem to work a little better. But this thing does real good for me. I've got it up at 40 feet. It only weighs 8 pounds, and then it's bi-directional, which I like too. You know, it's 120 degrees off each element.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I'll put this up against a super scanner any day. I'll put this antenna up against a super scanner any day. Yeah, man, that's cool, man. No, those are kind of a trippy antenna, man. Yeah, this thing only takes 500 watts, but like you said, I'm just running a barefoot my barefoot Yaesu.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you remember talking to Jason yesterday, Delta 4 Jason up there by Montreal.
Yaesu, what?
He said he thought about getting that. It's better than the what do you call it, that IMAX, but he said it's a 7.5 dBi. This super scanner is a 8.77 on the beam part, so it's got a bigger bump than that one.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Tell you the honest God truth. They don't tell you what this antenna is. They don't tell you what it is. They just say it's 2 times better than a 5/8. And every test that I see when guys are running both antennas, it's got 3 S-unit jump over the top of 3 S-unit jump. Go to YouTube and look at everybody that's testing them against the IMAX 2000s with the kits on them, no kits. There are 3 S-units more than the IMAX. So that's, shoot, what is that? That's 9 dB gain right there on top of whatever IMAX does.
Yeah, well, he said he went in there and looked it up. It's supposed to be a 7.5, and the IMAXs are 6. You know, for every dB up you jump, it's supposed to raise it a certain amount. I forget what it is. You're supposed to multiply it. Every 3 dB, you multiply it. Like 100 watts at 3 dB is 300, and then at 6 dB is 600, 9 dB is 1200. You know, it kind of doubles every 3 dB on a 100-watt scale.
Yeah, I don't know what site he was on, but Sario doesn't give you the dB gain on this antenna. They don't give it out, man. They don't give it out. And that guy asked him what kind of radio I'm talking about. This is a Yaesu 2000. 2000D, FT 2000D.
What kind of antenna?
I'm working a Gain Master. Working a Gain Master Sario there.
Oh, it sounds good here in Missouri.
Roger, roger, around Missouri. Sounding good out here in San Francisco.
Okay, you have a good day.
All right, man. But yeah, man, I don't think they give out the gain of this antenna, my friend. I don't know. You said it was 6. I haven't seen it. Even on the paperwork I got with it, it just says 2 times the 5/8 weight.
Yeah, Raj. Yeah, I'll have to ask him. He looked it up somewhere. He's like a big whiz on the internet. He must have found it somewhere off their website over in Europe or something. I don't know. I'll have to ask him where he got it. But I was just talking to him today. He said he talked to you yesterday, and he really liked it. He wanted to get one. And you know, the IMAX is supposed to be a 6, and he said that one was a 7.5, so that's a dB and a half more than the IMAX. But like I say, next time I talk to him, I'll ask him where he found that at.
Yeah, just go to YouTube. They got guys that got like 2 50-foot poles, and they're working both antennas. And every test the guy does is 3 S units. 3 S units over the top of the IMAX. And not just him, man. There's other people doing it too. And it always comes out to 3 S units more than the IMAX.
Yeah. Well, I don't doubt that. I assume it's going to beat the IMAX with a 7.5 over a 6, but it's supposed to be like a foot longer and all that. But were them tests they were doing, were they on ground wave?
Yeah, that was just ground wave. And this thing's got a hell of a takeoff in DX. Dude, look at my water gates. I was talking to Ireland yesterday. I was hitting the guy with 10 S units on this thing. Then I switched the beam. I was going to 7 S units. Switching back to this, I was back up to 10 in his radio.
Yeah. Well, that height will take that in even in DX, and the ground wave you can get that, and then also on ground wave you can put an antenna 5 foot in a different place and it'll change the signal. So, you know, I mean, I assume, I'm not saying that it's not better. I assume it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But, you know, some of them tests you can't be 100% on because it's got to be same place, same height, same wattage every time. You know, if you move it, you can move an antenna 5 foot in a different place, and on ground wave it'll change it.
Yeah, I dig what you're saying, man, but it ain't going to change no 3S units. It's not going to change 3S units. I could see moving a quarter. I could see a quarter if there's obstructions or whatever, whatnot. But I just don't see 3S units. And every guy that's doing the test with them out there is coming up with the same results. Same results every time.
Yeah, that's why I say them cereals, Mario, however you want to pronounce it, they're real good. Something about the way they manufacture them out there. And, you know, I never was a big IMAX or Antron fan, but, you know, you could, if conditions are good, I talked to my buddy up in Quebec, inside my mom's house was an upside-down K40 back when the last cycle was in.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Hey, yesterday, I made a video yesterday where I took this radio down to 250 milliwatts. 250 milliwatts, and of course we had great conditions, but 250 milliwatts, I was over 9 dB in Georgia, Roger.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, Eli was telling me about that. I guess you know Eli, he's a good friend of mine. He was telling me about that earlier today, and I was telling him, I did that on, this one will go down to a quarter-watt peak, and I've talked to Canada and the West Coast and Florida and New York City and all that on a quarter-watt peak. I don't know what that comes out to milliwatts, but it wasn't 9 dB, that's for sure, but that's back when the flux was down at 70 when everything was dead.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, that was, dude, and there was traffic out there, man. There was traffic. That was on 38 when there was a whole mess of traffic out there, man. That was fun, man. I had two guys. One guy was in the Carolinas and one was in Georgia, man. And my buddies all, well, you know, that antenna, you know, that radio does 200 watts. So I was like, all right, man. So I got the video camera. So I brought it down to 5 watts. And everybody, 40, you still smoking up in the red. I was like, oh, damn. So I started to turn down. I said, I better break out my video camera. So I got it all the way down, man. It wasn't even barely moving my watt meter. And the guy was saying, I got you at 9 dB.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. That is sweet. I tell you, that thing does work pretty good. You know, you might just be in that perfect spot too. You know, there's them other deals too. You know, I know for a fact I'm in a hot spot here where I live. I used to live next door in a duplex and bought this house 25 foot east of it just for the spot. I really didn't care about the house, but the spot was really good back during the last big cycle when it runs real good. The hot spots really get hotter when the propagation really heats up. And I had a buddy down in town, about 3 miles down in town, running the same antenna, same height and everything. And I was 20 over where you're at, and he was a 9.
Yeah, Roger on that. And I am my buddy calls it the magic spot. I got a buddy of mine. No, dude, you're just in that magic spot. You're in the magic spot. Because here I am talking on this antenna. I'm knocking out 5-element beams with a barefoot radio, and they got a couple 500Zs with a 5-element beam, and I'm knocking them out.
Yeah, they don't like that too much. I used to do that. And you'll find that the bigger the conditions get, the hotter they get, the stronger you'll get. Like I said, back during the last cycle when it was really hot, man, I could walk with people doing KW and 1500 watts, so it's a 120 to 150 watt peak.
Roger on that. All right, let me try something here. Let me back this thing all the way down. There we go, man. Can you hear me there? And 111. 111. There's a half a watt right there. Half a watt. Come in. 111.
Yeah, I hear you, about a 5 to 7. Here, let me go down and see what I do.
All right, come on. Me and this half a watt station on the West Coast, the host.
Still hear you in Missouri.
Still hear me in Missouri with a half a watt? Right on, my brother.
Sure do.
And that's great, man. That's just great. That's just crazy. Here's a half a one, and then I'll turn my radio up here. Hello, radio.